Hey guys, Jimbo here. Today I am at Wilderness Glades in Missouri, about an hour east of Branson, Missouri, and I am going to do a custom loop of pretty much the perimeter of the whole area. It should be about 20 miles. It's Saturday morning, the 7th, and it is a little after 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to get registered in real quick, and then I am going to be on my way. Okay, so this is super cool. They actually provide paper maps when you register in. So right now, I am right here at the Tower Trailhead, and my plan is to come up, do the Peace Hollow Loop, and then I'm going to take the Tower Trail all the way to there, to Lower Pilot, and then come down here, and then this is Coy Bald. I'm going to take Coy Bald right back around. The waterfalls are right there, and then from the waterfalls, it's just a straight shot down Long Creek back home. I'm hoping, my original plan was to get to the falls, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that many miles. I'm going to at least get to right here to this creek to camp. If I can get there and it's still plenty of daylight, I'm going to go ahead and do Coy Bald and get to there. That'll give me a short day home, so we'll see. Right now I'm on the Tower Trail, and very soon there should be a right-hand turn to get on Peace Hollow Trail. That's what we're looking for. Super excited about this. Okay, so I actually missed the Peace Hollow Trail. I was going to go counterclockwise. I missed it, so now I just decided, since the exit and the entrance go off of the Tower Trail, that I would just take the next trail. And man, this is going to be a wicked trail because you can't hardly see anything. I'm going to rely heavily on my GPS mapping, because this is a tough one to see. So my plan is to I'll do it clockwise and come out, and I'll just have to go back on the Tower Trail for just, it's like less than a quarter mile. It's easier than turning around. So the deal now is just to try to keep track of the trail, because it's, like, as you can see, really hard to see. Luckily I have that GPS app, and I'll use it. So far this trail, which is Peace Hollow Loop, has been really, really nice. It's strewn with small rocks, which makes me in particular really pay attention to my footing so I don't roll my ankle. Currently I'm tracking a deer. Evidently I see a deer tracks. Anyhow, right off the main trail, which is Tower Trail, it was really rough to see the trail because of the leaves. But once I got about 100 yards or so, it got easier to see. There's less leaves, and the trail's fairly wore down. I'm gonna show you what it looks like here in a second, but I just wanted to say, so far I'm super happy with this trail. It's about 5.5 mile loop, and it'll take me right back to where I started, pretty much right at the beginning of the trailhead of the fire trail, or the Tower Trail. So let me turn this thing around and let you see what it looks like. And as I said, you can totally obvious where the trail is, which is nice. I think it's because it seems like we're getting into evergreen trees, so there's less leaves. There's still a number of leaves on the ground, don't get me wrong, but it's not a carpet like it was on the Tower Trail. And right now we're going clockwise, 5.5 miles, like I said, and yeah, it'll just take us right back to where I registered, and I'll have to redo about less than a quarter mile. No biggie. Pretty awesome. Great way to spend a Saturday morning. There's my first view. Pretty cool. Too bad it's a little bit too early to eat breakfast, or I'd stop here and enjoy the view and eat breakfast, but I need to wait till about 8, maybe 8:30, and it's only 20 till 8 now, so just gonna keep on going. I'm sure the views will keep coming. So last night I drove here. I parked at the Tower Road trailhead. Took me about 2.5 hours to get there. A little over, probably actually about 2 hours and 40 minutes. I only stopped one time. I went ahead and grabbed gas, and I grabbed some Snickers and a Gatorade from my way out. and it's 2-lane the whole way. So I got lucky, and for the most part, the people I was following were doing pretty decent. I had a couple slow drivers, but for the most part, it was pretty good. I just listened to music and kind of tuned everything else out. When I got there to the trailhead, parking, it was about 9 o'clock in the evening last night, and I parked, and I just basically just went, dropped the back seats in the Outback, and just crawled back in the back and fell asleep. Well, I tried to fall asleep. It took me a while to fall asleep. But yeah, I just slept in the back of the car last night, and let me say, it wasn't very comfortable. I've got a pretty nice sleeping bag, and I used some padding, but I'm 6'2", and it was really hard to stretch out in that car, so I ended up in the fetal position all night, and it wasn't very comfortable. I was longing for my hammock. I'm kind of glad I did, though, because I'm probably about at least 1.5 miles in right now, and I haven't seen a camp spot yet, and the trail and spots is really hard to see, so wouldn't have been a good idea to night hike this thing. But for those of you that are thinking about doing Hercules Glades, I know for a fact that at the Tower Trailhead, AT&T has cell service, so it's not a huge signal, but I had no problem getting on Facebook and communicating with Angela via text. So yeah, there's definitely cell service at that trailhead if you use it, and it's a smooth ride. You don't need a 4-wheel drive. I just drove my Outback, and not rough at all. Very, very nice trailhead, very nice road to the trailhead. From what I understand, the other ones are not that nice, so here we go. Yeah, it's time to camp. Pretty random. Kind of reminds me of Shores Creek at the Buffalo. Pretty crazy this thing would be sitting out here. I have to wonder how the hell it got out here. Man, someone must have been living out here for a minute. You got one throne and a bunch of places for kindling. Someone takes their bushcraft seriously, I'll tell you that. Well, I'm at Brushy Creek, and it looks like there's just a little bit of water in it. There's a sign right there, Brushy Creek. And this is the first blaze I've seen, so I didn't think they blazed this trail, but evidently they do. That's good to know. And it's good to know there's water. I was actually told to be careful on how much water I bring because there was a chance there would be no water. But luckily last week we got, like a week and a half ago, we got like 3 or 4 days of pure rain. So luckily some of it's still, you can see there's ponds back there, still sitting here. So I'm actually packing more water than I typically do just because of the information I got on Facebook was that there was a good chance I wouldn't get water. So I didn't want to be unprepared. I want to be able to cook, hydrate, and, you know, drink scotch at the end of the day. So yeah, my pack weight right now is at about 28 pounds, just under, and that's a little heavier than I normally carry for a short trip like this, but I'd rather pack extra water and be careful than to regret it. Okay, it's about 20 after 8, and I decided to go ahead and stop and eat some breakfast. As you can see, today's breakfast consists of a Cliff Bar, the Peanut Toffee Buzz variety, and I haven't decided if I'm going to have coffee or not. And I decided to go ahead and drink coffee. I don't think it's a good idea. Lose a little water weight, get a little caffeine, small amount of hydration, and damn it, it just tastes good on a Saturday morning. Okay, once again for this trip, I'm drinking G7, thanks to Derek, my buddy. And I'm going to eat another Cliff Bar. I'm going for the peanut butter banana. I'm pretty hungry this morning, so I'm gonna do that thing. I brought 3, so I'm okay. I'll have 1 for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a short day, hopefully. All right, well, I'm back on the trail again. It's about 5 till 9. That was about a half an hour break. Probably longer than I really planned on it, but it was a really good one. I drank some coffee. I feel really good. I actually had some cell service back there, so I was able to get in contact with Angela, make sure everything's cool at the house. And randomly, my best friend Gene in Virginia texted me, and I got to chat with him for a second. And I really like talking to Gene. He's my best friend, but he's actually more like a brother. I go see him often enough, so got to chat with him for a minute. That was nice. Other than that, let's see. When I sat down at about 8:30, it was 51 degrees, and when I left, it was a little over 53. So it's gained 2 degrees. So I have a feeling this long sleeve shirt's gonna be getting removed in the near future. I looked at the map, and I'm about halfway done with this loop. I'm actually heading back towards the main trail at this point. The whole loop itself is 5.3 miles. So let's see, it's about 9 now. Probably about 11:30, I should be back to the main trail. And then from there, I'll take I think it's called the Tower Trail, and just bust it all the way to the end. That's trippy. So right back there, I saw 2 or 3 trails that intersected with this trail that aren't on my map. It's one of the times when I pulled out my GPS app and made sure I was going the right way. And as far as I know, I am. It looks like I'm going the right way, so I'm just gonna stay the course. It's the good thing about having a map on your phone, a separate app with GPS on your phone, and a paper map that they furnish at the trailhead. So it's all good. You guys see the oranges? And there's so much orange in that hill up there. It's beautiful. I'm guessing those are oaks. I don't know. They're beautiful. I love seeing the colors. Look how sparse it is over there. Like not very many trees. Okay, I just got to a fork, and if I would have turned right, it would have been a scenic view. Turn left to continue. I'm bypassing the scenic view because my hopes are that sometime maybe early next year, Angela will want to come down to Hercules. I know it's been on her radar, and she's talked about wanting to do it, so I'd like to enjoy that with her. So I'm going to bypass it in hopes that someday Angela and I can share it together. That's kind of the trade-off of coming and doing solos on adventures that she also would like to do. Sometimes we have issues with the trails that I want to do solo because they're adventures that she also wants to partake in. Our scheduling a lot of times doesn't line up, so I have to pick and choose which solos to do. And when I do so, I also have to be willing to give up certain things. In this case, even though nothing was said about it, I just know that when she comes here and we do this together, if we can share even one small scenic view together, it means a lot to her and me, and I think it strengthens our love for the hobby and one another. So Angela, that scenic view back there is for you, and we will share it together. Also, I want to get deep with you for just 1 minute. I've been thinking about this. And I've been trying to figure out how to explain it to you, but if you're a hiker and you really enjoy the sport, at some point you're going to come across a discussion whether on Facebook or some kind of social media or just a friend of yours that doesn't hike, and there's always the topic of why do you do this? Why do you hike? To some people it seems pointless. You're just walking a lot of times in a circle like I am, and it's work. It's not considered fun to a lot of people. And here's my answer to that. First off, I'm an outdoors person. I always have been. Since I was little, I've always liked being outdoors. That aside, to me, hiking it's mental health. It keeps my mental health in check. In the real world, inside my head, is like a forest. I've got all these thoughts in my head, and there's so many, it's just like walking through a forest. Right, well, I'm using metaphors. The trees in the forest are the good things, the good thoughts, the good ideas. You know, my daughter, my girlfriend, my stepdaughter, my dog, my car, all the coworkers that I care about at work, all these people, all these things, you know, the good things in life, happy thoughts, happy events in my life. All the good things in life are trees in my head, in this forest that I walk through daily. Well, unfortunately, that forest has a lot of weeds and vines that are striving to take over the forest in my head. The vines are the bad things, you know, the bad politics that stress me out on a daily basis, especially right now in an election year. The people in daily life that aren't looking to be friendly, they're just out for themselves, you know, the drivers that cut you off and they get in your lane without using a turn signal. It's the small, pathetic, petty things that piss me off, that are the weeds in my forest, the vines that are striving to cripple my trees of good thoughts. So I know this is a ridiculous way to explain it, but I don't know any other way to explain it. When I come out here, I'm doing forest management basically in my head. I'm trying to clear all the bad things, weeding the forest basically of all the negative shit, the crap, everything. And by doing that, at the end of the trip, my hopes are to be walking in a beautiful forest again. You know, my drive home after one of these is usually one of the best times ever, because when you're out here walking for over 10 miles, you pretty much think about everything there is to think about. And you actually get to a point where you're not really thinking much at all. And that's where it needs to be. Don't get me wrong, I love thinking about my loved ones. I love thinking about my dog. You know, I got some great coworkers that I care the world about. I got friends in other states that I care about. But at the end of the day, if I can get to a point where I'm not thinking about anything other than my immediate surroundings, that does me good. It does me a lot of good. There's so many things in this life so many negative things in life, that their sole purpose is to purchase space in your head. And then once they get there, they plant, they grow, turns into a bad thing. Pretty soon, all you can think about is the damn weeds in your head. And if I didn't have a way to come out and get away from all that, it would take me over. I would become a weed myself. I don't know what I would do, but this is my way of not turning into a weed, keeping the positivity in life, staying self-centered and grounded, and continuing to mature as an adult, as a human being. And I don't know, man. I apologize if I'm getting too deep, but I think it's the election that's getting to me. I've just got so much bad vibes, man, floating around everywhere. It's everywhere. And it's just humankind to always there's always two forces always pulling at each other, whether it's good or evil or Democrat, Republican, or anything. Just right now, none of that matters. Right now, there's none. Look, I don't see any of that anywhere. All I see is beautiful trees. And yeah, I'm just doing maintenance in my head, cleaning the crap out, and then I'll return home a better person. I guess that's my long answer for why I do this. Maintenance, mental health, keeping my sanity. So anyhow, I'll stop with my soapbox, and I hope you kind of understand where I'm coming from. I just want to be a human. I want to love the earth. I want to enjoy the earth while I'm around. And I'm hoping the next generation of people get to continue doing so. Anyhow, hike your own hike. That's what I'm doing. Okay, it is 7 till 10. I just finished Peace Hollow. Now I'm back on the Tower Trail and I'm heading on. So Peace Hollow is now history. That's 5.3 out of the way. Now I've been on a long shot Tower Trail, pretty much at the end. I think actually I'm going to turn right before the end because it goes to a trailhead, I believe, and I'm going to turn on Devil's Den Trail, but that'll be a while, so we'll see what happens. Next time I take a break, I'll show you the map again. But Peace Hollow is pretty nice. This is part of the trail right here that we did earlier. Peace Hollow will take off to the right, and that's where I went because I missed the first one, so the entrance, I should say. So now that's going to add a little bit of miles, probably quarter to a half mile to my overall, and that's fine. Overall is approximately 20, so I feel like I'm good up to 30. Push comes to push, I could do a lot of this in the dark if I had to. I'm guessing this might be Pete's Hollow Trail. Yes. Pete Hollow. Pretty sure I'm supposed to keep going this way. Let's look around the other side of this thing. Huh. Okay, so I guess I'm going on pilots. Okay, well I just passed the second trail. There's 4 of them. There's Pete's Hollow and then the lower, middle, and upper pilot. The upper pilot is the one we're going to turn at, which is the last one on this trail, the Tower Trail. And evidently these trails have more than one name because depending on what site you use, they call them different things. So the upper pilot is the one we're hitting. It's also called Devil's Den, I believe. I could be wrong, but from what I understand, that's what it is. I just passed the second one, which would have been the lower pilot. Typically, I would have taken a video of it, of course, like I have been, but the 3 horse people that I met up there by Peace Hollow were there right at the junction, looking at their map, trying to decide what they were going to do. I don't think they've ever been here before. It didn't seem like they were very knowledgeable with the area. So I just kind of I knew I wasn't turning, so I just kept going straight. And that's my update. Should hit the middle pilot at some point in the near future. It is 11 o'clock right now, so I feel like we're making pretty good time. Okay, so I got the names wrong. Here's the deal. That's where I parked this morning. And then I got on the trail. And I was supposed to turn right there, but I went all the way around. I did that, and then I came back around. Pete's Hollow was the first trail I passed. And we got to there, the middle, the names go middle, upper, lower. So that was the trail where I saw the horses, and currently I am like right about here. So I will pass the upper, and then at the lower is where I gotta turn and go down to here. And that might be where I'm gonna camp for the night. If I get there soon enough, I might try to do the Coy Bald around, and I'd really like to camp right there because then it gives just me a real short distance to get back to the car tomorrow, and there'd be water. But if I get there too late, I don't know if I can do all that in time to get there before dark, and I don't want to hike after dark if I don't have to. So we will see. It looks like maybe, no, it looks like let's hope maybe this creek right here kept running, but it looks like it ends like right there. So I'm not seeing any other water other than right there and right there. So when I get to that point, I'll do the math and figure out how far this is, because I've got a map that tells me mileage. And if I can do that, I will. If not, that's the place where I'll camp. So I'm gonna grab some water, hydrate up. It is 11:11, and I'll get back on the road. I need to stop probably around noon or 1 to eat lunch. So I don't know, hopefully I can get over here somewhere before then. It's really not that far. According to that, where's it at? Right there. That's a mile. So we'll see. Yay, I got a creek crossing. It's actually got water in it. How cool is that? There's a real cool camp spot right there. I mean, wouldn't be really good for hammocks, but still pretty cool. And this rock's got all these weird pits in it. What the hell? Kind of strange. Kind of cool though. I like seeing water. It's a good sign. Just about walked up on this guy. Man. Good looking specimen. I'm not gonna hurt you, little man. Go on. And then he was gone. Beautiful black snake. Using the rocks to heat himself up. Pretty cool. I don't have a problem with snakes. And it looks like another trailhead. Got another cairn up here. Stack of rocks. We're gonna continue straight. If I was going to the falls right now, that's the way I go. See Upper Pilot, we're going on. Cool. Okay, now we're on our final leg to the turn. It's about 3/4 of a mile, and then we will take a turn to the left and we'll start heading back to Long Creek. And shouldn't take very long. That one really happened really fast, faster than I was expecting. So when it happens, it'll happen fast. Be ready. All right, well, it looks like we found our turn. In this particular case, it doesn't really say, but oh, there's a sign over here. Pilot Trail, Lower Pilot Trail. So we are good. We are good. Okay, on the Lower Pilot Trail, and I'm going to take it 1.7 miles to pretty much the end of this trail. And that is where that point was that I showed you, where there's a creek. Where originally I thought maybe I was going to camp, but man, I'm making good time. It's only 10 till noon. So 1.7. I should be there in about an hour, which puts me at 1 o'clock-ish. Probably a little sooner than 1. I'll eat lunch there, and then I'll probably head on to the falls. We'll see. I'll probably take 30 to 45 minutes at lunch, so we'll crunch the numbers at lunch. How's that sound? So hang in there. We're getting it done. Got a nice breeze coming through here. guess a lack of trees probably. Pretty awesome. I'm enjoying this. Okay, so I got way off trail. Had to use my GPS to find it, and I just pretty much bushwhacked. That was tough. Now I found the trail. I'm trying to get to the Koi Bald trailhead, so I'm gonna go this way. It is 12:35 and I am starving, so as soon as I get to there, I am going to find a place to eat. I am hungry. So while I was bushwhacking trying to find the trail, that completely disappeared. I got tangled up in a bunch of briars or sticker plants, or the vines, whatever they are, and they got me. Nothing horrible, but damn, I wish the trail wouldn't have disappeared. Right now I'm back where I was a minute ago when I showed you that sign, because I'm not really sure where I'm at. I need to get to the Koi Bald trail, but I don't want to go to the trailhead because it's its own thing that's an out and back. Like it starts at a trailhead that's you walk it until you get to Koi Bald. So when I looked at my GPS, it looked like I was on the actual trailhead path, not the trail. So at this point, I'm starving, I'm gonna eat, and then I'm going to look at my good map and find out where in the hell I am. So until then, I guess you gotta wait on me. Okay, for lunch I got Angela's stroganoff that I'm rehydrating, and that's it. I was gonna show you where I'm at. Okay, so it looks like, okay, so I'm right there. So what I'm gonna do is, I wanna look at the mileage, but what I'd like to do is do this, the Koi Bald Trail, all the way to there tonight, because I know there's camping right around here where all this water is. So I'm gonna figure out the mileage and then I'll get back to you while my stuff's rehydrating. Okay, from where I'm at, it looks like Koi Bald is about 4.5 miles, or the falls, I should say. If I take Koi Bald from here, the falls are about 4.5 miles away. Right now, it's almost 1 o'clock. So you're looking at, I do about 2 miles an hour. So 4.5 miles would be 2 and a little over 2 and 15 minutes, 2.25 hours. So I'm probably gonna sit here for 45 minutes at least. I mean, minimum half an hour. So let's just call it, if I leave here at 2, that still gets me there by 4:30-ish. That gives me like an hour of daylight. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I mean, I've already got over 10 miles. I'm not sure how many miles. I'll tell you that in the next one. But for now, I'm gonna let it rehydrate. My food, that is, rehydrate. I'm having a drink to medicinal purposes, I guess. And I'm gonna eat lunch and just chill. I might even take my boots off, I don't know. I feel pretty good, other than the scratches on my leg, and my hips were getting a little sore. Old age, just work through it. I might eat an aspirin before I leave. But that's the game plan. This was originally gonna be my camp spot somewhere right around here, but it's too early in the day, man. I'm not gonna start camping at 1. Hell, at this point, I can almost feel like if I wanted to, I can finish this loop tonight and go home, but I don't want to. I want to get one good night of camping in my hammock, and I don't want to drive home in the middle of the night. I got over 2.5 hour drive. Just not looking into that. I'd rather drive on a Sunday morning. You know, if I can get up at 6 and be out of camp by 7 like I was this morning, that puts me home, you know, before noon, you know, and that gives me time to maybe crunch some video and relax, pet the dog, and enjoy my family. I mean, camping and hiking is pretty important to me, but ultimately my family is more important. So, man, you guys got me filibustering. What the heck? I'll see you after lunch. All right, well, it's about 10 till 2, and I am on my way to the Koi Bald Trailhead so I can get this thing done. I should get to the falls around 4:30, maybe a little sooner, but we'll call it 4:30. So right now I got a river crossing. I'm hoping I can get across here without changing my shoes. So that's where we stand. Thought I'd let you know. So this is gonna be one of my funner river crossings. I've got over there, so over there, over there. So yeah, let's see what happens. Look how wonderful this water is. It's like Extremely clear. No sediment, just pure rock. God, this is beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay, so we are now on the Coy Bald Trail, which means it's 4 miles from here. So it's 2 hours worth of walking. That just now was uphill. I'm a little out of breath. I started to get a cramp, so I stopped for about a minute. Took a good couple drinks of water. Got my composure back, and now I'm back on it. It seems to be a little more leveled off. With a name like Coy Bald, I would expect some maybe some hill. And if I was to guess, I would say it means like no trees on top of that hill. I don't know, man. I'm not a scholar, and I've had 2 scotches and water while I was eating lunch. So let's figure this out together. What do you say? Come on, guys, ladies, gentlemen, let's do this thing. Man, what a difference taking a 45 minutes to 60-minute break does for your body. I was really getting hungry. My hips were starting to get sore. I mean, I did 12.25 miles before lunch, so I mean, that's not beast mode or anything, but that's my body telling me, hey man, take a break. And that's one of those instances where being solo kind of works to your advantage, because had I been with someone else, I was probably getting hangry. I was turning into Roseanne Barr up on this son of a bitch. And you know, the last thing you need to do when you're not solo, when you're with someone, is to turn into Roseanne Barr and get hangry and start being pissed off at the world. Because, dude, seriously, or dudette, whoever you are, I mean, listen to your body. Your body knows when it's time to take a break. You know, if you get sore or hungry, pull it the hell over and take a break. You know, me, I'm stubborn. I mean, anybody that knows me in real life will tell you that I am stubborn. So I knew that I wanted to make it to that trailhead before I took a break. I did, and I paid a little bit of a price. I got hangry, I got pissed off at myself. I ended up going off trail. And honestly, I don't even know if I was off the trail. I think I was on the trail, and my satellite was just not picking me up quite as accurately as the trail that was marked. So legitimately, I probably had no reason to go off the trail that I was on. I was hangry, and it all ended out okay, but I mean, those are the circumstances where you get sore, you get angry, you get hungry, and you start making bad decisions. I mean, I was stumbling and fumbling around, and hell, I got little scratches all over my right shin because I went through a sticker bush, and man, not cool. If you take anything away from this video, take this. If you start getting hungry to the point where you're angry, if you start getting sore to the point where you're angry, pull it over. I don't care if you're with a group of 15 people, man. Pull it over, let them pass you if you have to, and say, hey man, I'll catch up to you. I need to take care of number one, which is myself. So anyhow, I was thinking about that. I don't think I was even off trail. I think that I took myself off trail because I looked too closely at the GPS map, and I think I should have stayed on the track I was on to see what happens. Whatever, it's all past. I made it, but I was just thinking about that. I was just pulling some weeds in my head, and it's easier to vent out loud. Sometimes venting out loud like that helps pull the weeds. So now we're good. I mean, I just pulled a bunch of weeds, and now all I got is a big tree of memory of saying I got it done. And I had a good lunch. I had a good break. Oh man, I had a great meal. That stroganoff that Angela makes is freaking primo. Anyhow, I'm about a mile into it. I got about 3.5 miles to go, and pretty soon I'll have hopefully a kick-ass video for you guys of the falls. I'm super stoked about these falls, and since all the creeks so far have had water in them, I think there'll be water in them, so I'm really happy about it. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. My pack has developed a squeak. It's slowly driving me insane. How's this for a beautiful fall trail? Slight breeze coming through, leaves falling, reddish brown leaves all over the ground. Man, this is beautiful. I can't even believe it. The weather, for being the first week in November, the weather is just absolutely wonderful. I couldn't have asked for better weather. It's going to be good sleeping tonight. Hopefully it'll be like this next weekend. Next weekend we got a good one for you guys. Angela and I are going to do the next partial section of the OHT. So definitely want to tune into that if you're a OHT person. Ozark Highlands Trail. That'll be a good one. I'm really looking forward to it. That's the stretch that I've been wanting to do. I think we're going to do the full section, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. So I hate to lie to you. So we'll do at least a partial section. If memory serves, we're doing White Rock is where we left off, and we're going to go to Cherry Bend. But don't quote me. We got to make sure. Anyhow, I actually might have a couple friends coming with us. I'm not sure yet. They're on the fence on whether they want to or not. I hope they do. Anyhow, just wanted to show you what this Coy's Bald Trail looks like. It's so far it's been really, really nice. The initial half a mile getting up to it from the Tower Trail or Creek Trail, or whatever that other trail was a little uphill, but ever since then it's been pretty moderate, pretty nice. I don't know if the colors are coming across or not, but damn, this is beautiful. This side had a bunch of oranges and I didn't take time to stop and look at it. It's things like this that are another reason why I like doing this stuff. And just, when you come across something like this, it's just hard to believe it's real. Man, I love it. So serene, beautiful. And look at the colors. Oranges and greens. Ah, I live for this. That is a beautiful sign, figuratively and literally. So unfortunately right now the falls are not flowing. There's still big pools and small amounts, but I guess I saw some people downstream and they said that usually this whole thing is just flowing. So right now it is not flowing. So I guess I'll have to hit it in the spring. And at this point I just need to find somewhere that has 2 trees to hang, because I've done about 17 miles and I'm tired. I'm ready to drink the last of my scotch and make a little dinner and cash out. So stick with me, we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's about 5 till 4. Whoa! It's about 5 till 4, and the first camp spot was full, people in there, and the second one was not very ideal. So I'm basically 3 miles from the car. So what I'm going to do is, I've got an hour's worth of daylight, and it probably doesn't get super dark until an hour and a half. And it's 3 miles, so that's an hour and a half. So I'm going to continue at a brisk pace towards the car. If by some chance a nice spot opens up, I'll take it. If not, there's a huge area at the parking lot where I can figure out a place to camp. There's a lot of tent area. I don't know about hammock camping or not, but I can figure something out. and I really like camping my hammock tonight. Sleeping in the car sucks. I didn't get a very good sleep, and I definitely don't want to drive home tonight. So, I don't know. Right now, we'll just wait and see. Hopefully, we'll come across a camp spot that's a little nicer for hammocks. Part of the problem is these trees around here there's a lot of cedar trees, and they've got a lot of pokey branches that, I've got a lot of money in my tarp and my hammock, and I don't really like pokey things on my shit, so that's part of the problem. So if I see a couple hanging trees, I'll pull over. If not, I'll go to the car and I'll make it work somehow. So stick with me and we'll see what's going on. I'm beyond 17 miles at this point. And, it might be another 20-mile day. You guys, typically when I have 20-mile days, you guys usually like it. So we'll see. We'll see. Literally 6 minutes after giving you that big speech, found a camp spot. So this is my home for the night. I'm gonna get set up and then I'll catch you up to speed. 17.37 miles today. That is really good for me. I feel like that's a great day. Yeah, super stoked. Okay, I'm trying porch mode this time. Trying to expand my horizons on this tarp thing. The only problem I had was my trees are a little too close to really do it the way I want, but I think it's gonna work out pretty good. I'm not expecting rain, but even if it rains, I'll be okay. I think that'll work. Got a little ground cover. I'm gonna get ready to cook, and then hopefully it'll get dark soon and I can just crash because I am tired. Well, it's 6:37 a.m. I crawled out of my hammock about 15 minutes ago, grabbed my food bag, got my coffee right now cooling down. I already ate a Cliff Bar for breakfast. I'm not gonna eat a huge breakfast. And it's 59 degrees, almost 60. There's a light breeze, which is pretty nice. I've got my quilts already packed. I'm just slowly kind of rounding everything out while I drink coffee, and by the time I finish my coffee, it should be about time to go. So hopefully around 7 o'clock, just like I predicted yesterday, I'll be back on the trail. It's going to take me about an hour and a half. It's less than 3 miles at this point, so should be a real short day. Let me drink this coffee and we'll get going. It's a little after 7. It's 60 degrees, and I just pulled out of my camp spot, and since it's about 5 after 7, that means it'll be about 8:35 if I stay on track with my 2 miles an hour average, as I usually do. So we'll see. Not sure if there's gonna be any sights on this stretch, but I know it's been an enjoyable trek. I enjoy getting the miles in. I enjoy sleeping in a hammock, and I certainly enjoy weeding my forest. So stick with me. Let's get to the car, and I will talk to you soon. So the last couple nights were really strange as far as camping goes. When the sun goes down, it gets really dark. I mean, really dark. And last night was no exception. It was super, super dark. And then around 10 or 11, the moon pops up. And the moon has been, for the most part, full. So then all of a sudden you have this light in the sky that's super strange. I don't remember ever seeing it like that before, but it's crazy. I woke up about 11 with the moon out, and there was enough light I could see. I honestly thought it was daylight. I thought it was starting to get daylight. And then I looked up and I saw the moon, and I was like, oh man. So, I slept a lot longer. This time of year, you got about 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of sunlight. So if you, like I do, if I walk all day, I crawl in my hammock about the time the sun's going down. You're in your hammock a long time. So I was raring to go this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was a little after 6 when I actually got up, but yeah, in there a long time. That's why I'm up and ready to go right now. So anyhow, thought I'd add that. That's kind of a weird thing. It looks like we're following a little creek right now. A little bit of water right over there. Must be Long Creek, because this is the Long Creek Trail. Plenty of water. I guess that rain a couple weeks ago really did this area justice. Might have a river crossing. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. So yeah, it looks like I got a water crossing right here. And I am not taking my boots off. Whoa. Wow. I think I'm going to bushwhack this way. I didn't bring water shoes for this adventure. Figured I'd save a little bit of weight. It looks like the trail. Huh, strange. Yes, I didn't bring water shoes, which I'm glad, because I'm about 99.9% sure I won't need them. Just gonna power through. Everything's been super dry lately on all the trails Angela and I've been on. I think I've only used my water shoes one time, and that was at Eagle Rock Loop, and hell, that was 2 or 3 months ago now. 3 months maybe. So yeah, definitely don't feel like I need them. We did the Buffalo River Trail a couple weekends ago, and about 42 miles. I didn't use them one time, so I don't think I took them with me that time either. I thought Smith Creek would have a little water in it, but it was completely dry. It is what it is. Sometimes there's a certain amount of gambles you go through. On this particular one, I was told there might not be water, so I packed a lot of water, and that made me not be able to carry some stuff. Like, I left my tripod at home, I left my water shoes at home. Part of hiking is managing your weight. And if you gotta carry more water, you're adding weight to your base or your carry weight. So yeah, you gotta do a little bit of gambling. So while I'm on my final stretch here, I'd like to once again thank everybody that watches my videos. I got some more new subscribers since the last trip. At last count, I was at 60. That's 5 times more than I had this time last year. So thank every one of you guys. You guys are pretty much the reason. I mean, I would be doing this anyhow, but the more subscribers I get, the more I want to come out here and showcase the different trails and my abilities and everything like that. I'm going to try to keep coming up with new trails, and really don't want to have to do the same trails over and over again. So I'm sure you guys aren't going to watch the same trails. So one of the trails that's on my radar right now is the Irish Creek Wilderness, which is another 2 hours east of here. So it's going to be like a 4.5 hour drive for me. But you know, I've heard a lot of people on the Missouri forums telling me that it's a really, really good place to go. The only problem with it is, much like this, trails aren't marked very well, and this time of year it's really easy to lose track. But if we have some good weather, maybe in early December, maybe I can talk Angela letting me in to squirt another one out before the end of the year. We'll see. But anyhow, the most important thing is thank you all for watching. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy this video, give me a like. Think about subscribing. As I inch closer to 100 subscribers, I'm going to start thinking about maybe making some stickers and having a contest. Maybe sending some out for free. It just depends on how fast it happens. Anyway, that's a long ways off. I'm still at 60, so no big deal. You guys, I appreciate it. Let's finish this thing out and go home. So once we pulled away from the river, the creek, it's all been kind of uphill. So good choice on not trying to finish it last night. It's a little bit slow going. Not that much slower, but definitely a little slower. Also, I heated up pretty fast, so I had to take my long sleeve shirt off, and I took my bandana off so the heat can escape from my head. Other than that, nothing really to show. On a different note, if you think about doing this trail, it's definitely more geared towards tent camping. Tent camping spots are way easier to find than hammock. That being said, There are lots of trees. You can make it happen if you're in a hammock. I'd still prefer a hammock. That's just me. I've got both a tent and a hammock. I'd much rather be in my hammock at night. More to come. This place is a lot different than the Arkansas trails I've been on. I'm not used to seeing big open areas of grass instead of trees. Typically where I'm from, northwest Arkansas, the Buffalo River Valley, or even down south of the Ouachita Forest, it's all trees and rocks. So this is kind of a neat change of pace. I also noticed when we're at the creek, the rocks are a different kind of rock. I'm not a geologist, so I don't know my rocks very well, but those rocks were a different color and shaped differently. So kind of interesting. It's one of the beautiful things about traveling to different places, is you get to see different stuff instead of, as I mentioned earlier, just doing the same thing over and over. I definitely want to expand my trail selection. I've also got a couple in Oklahoma on my radar that it probably won't happen until next year, early next year maybe, but definitely got a couple out there. And kind of like to find one in Kansas, since I'm pretty close to Kansas, but unfortunately Kansas, it would probably be pretty flat because they don't really have mountains or even that many trees. So we'll see. I'll find something. I'll keep it real, give you guys the lowdown. Where I parked is the Tower Road, and basically it's a fire tower, the Ranger's fire tower. It's chain linked off, so you can't really go up it, but, or I would, but basically the trailhead is a loop that goes around that, and there's an area in the middle of it where you can pitch a tent or whatever. I think it's dispersed camping. I think it's free. There's no water, no electricity. Just primitive camping. Parking spots so you can get on the trails. Super, super cool, man. This is the Mark Twain National Forest and Missouri Conservation Agency really did a great job. I think they can blaze their trails just a little bit better, but other than that, this place has been fantastic. Anyhow, let's go back to what I was talking about. So this fire tower, I came in at dark, so I couldn't really see how big it was, but I imagine it's pretty tall. I mean, it's made to look over the trees and look for smoke. So you know, I guess when they see smoke, they call another tower and they triangulate it to figure out where it's at on the grid. So anyhow, what I'm trying to get to, I'm taking a long way to what I'm trying to say. At some point, I should see this tower. I know it, when I left, I didn't show you because I didn't want anybody to think I was videoing them while they were camping. But on the way back in, I want you guys to see it. It's pretty cool in its own right. And I keep scanning the horizon. I'm definitely on a ridge line, and I'm still going uphill just a little bit. So at some point, that thing should peek its head through the trees, because I am it's almost 10 till 8, and I think I'll get there about 8:30. So if I'm right about my time, it should grow into the view sometime soon. So I'll keep an eye out. I'll let you know when it happens. Well, seeing the tower first didn't pan out. I actually see cars over there. Kind of a bummer. It is what it is, though. I see cars, but I still don't see the tower. Super odd. And it's near. Thanks again for going with me on this adventure. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas to make what I do better, let me know in the comments. Oh, I see the tower now. Here we go. That's a wrap, people. Thank you. I'll give you full mileage here in a second. see the Subaru. And this is the tower loop. You can kind of see the tower right there through the trees. So I ended up with a little over 20 miles, which is perfect. I'm back at the house, or I'm back at the car. I'm gonna change real quick and use the facilities, and then I am on my way back home.